Name?
Ethan.
Ethan. Okay. Man, just to give some context, are you like a green supporter or a communist?
I would identify as
an American.
liberal.
Liberal. Okay. So capitalism. Let's talk about free markets. Why we see quote unquote failures? A government intervention. Like for example, Enron. Enron needs to go bust. You know why they were cheating? Government regulation allowed them to cheat. That's the first thing.
I think it's the opposite.
Wrong.
It's the complete opposite.
Okay, let me finish this.
We had no regulation before. That was in the 1900s, early 1900s.
Okay.
And we ended up with monopolies that were not good for anyone.
That's actually not true. The Sherman Antitrust Act was actually designed to help large corporations get larger, and smaller corporations ended up closing down.
Where do you get that information from? Because the Sherman Antitrust Act was used to break up 5 different monopolies. It broke up Standard Oil into like 19
No, it didn't actually.
Companies. They all reformed eventually, but that's due.
That's my point.
That's due to the weakness of our politicians and not to the weakness of the
I disagree.
itself.
If you want to have great competition, you do not rescue a company. You don't create laws that prevent competition. And what happened with Standard Oil, for example, you had other. Now, Standard Oil, by the way, did a really good service. Let me explain. I know you might disagree. They were able to drive down the cost of kerosene from $10 to $4. Poor people were able to get candles. They were able to have energy sources. They were able to read. They couldn't do that before.
You're using all of this as a justification to eliminate regulations. The elimination of government regulations or companies, the regulation of corporations, is that we suffer. They make all this profit off the work of us. And they promote like deunionization. They tell their workers not to work. And just in this system, we suffer. People that can't own those corporations, people like you who work 5 days a week, they don't see the benefits from their government because that government is allocating those resources into shit that doesn't matter, like fucking bombs. Tons and tons of bombs and nuclear programs. We don't need that stuff.
Can I respond?
Also,
let me know when I can respond.
Oil. They're gonna fucking plunder our great, beautiful country without government regulations.
I want to respond and say, free markets don't mean no rules at all. So if I sent that message, it's wrong. We have to have enforcement of contract. We also have to have criminal prosecution, and we should have a sound monetary policy.
Absolutely.
So you agree with me?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when I'm talking about like corporate intervention or government intervention, that means like corporate welfare. I absolutely hated the TARP bailouts. No corporation should get a bailout. If you play fast and loose, you should close down. No bailout. So you agree with me?
Yes.
I also believe and I studied this. It was